Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Happy Thursday. It is June the 2nd, 2022. June the 20th. Did I say 22nd or 2nd? June 22nd, 2022. All these Tuesday. Sorry, hold on. One more time. It's Thursday, June 22nd, 2020. It's 2023. I'm going to get it together. I promise y'all I'm going to get it together. One more time. Happy Thursday, beautiful people. Today is June 22nd, 2023, day 62 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Today, in the secret Nazarite scroll, officially known as the Holy Megillah, we are starting chapter 8 in the Holy God spell, and that begins on page 386. And the title of this chapter is The Birth and Childhood of Miriam, the birth and childhood of the Lady Christ. Jannah comes as Miriam. And this is the chapter, y'all, that I told y'all it's like 800 pages. So I'm not 800 pages, like 800 verses. So we're going to be here for the next probably at least 3 to 4 days. If I add in some stories, it'll probably be a little bit longer than that, right? So, all right, beautiful people. Father, we thank you for breaking apart the masculine and feminine so that we can see the attributes and beauties of each polarity, right? All right, beautiful people. Don, what's good, sis? Tickler, hey, girl, hey. Beloved family, creator gang. She said, peace, love, light. Audrey, hey, girl, hey. I saw your message last night. I saw you watching the replay. Hey, girl, hey. Avia, greetings. Elijah, peace and blessings. Mom, shalom, shalom. And everybody else here already hanging out in the background. Top of the day to you. Y'all, let's get this started. Okay. So I noticed also, I read through a lot of the pseudepigraphers and some of the text that you find in like the Catholic Church or whatever, like the Cave of Treasures and things like that, the childhood stories of Jesus. But there's something that I've noticed. If you compare those things to these, they're like absolute opposites for the most part, like of the intentions of the different people. Okay, so here's an example. Right, so I read through like some of the childhood stories of Jesus, right? They were pretty amusing to me. Grace and Righteous, Shalom. Listen, they were pretty amusing because I remember this one story when he was, I forget how old he was. He was an adolescent, but there was a little boy who kept picking with him. And then he pretty much, I forgot exactly what it was that he did to the little boy, but the little boy died, and just kind of sum it up. Jesus was like, well, he shouldn't have been messing with me. That whole attitude from them childhood stories of Jesus. And there was this elder or whatever who didn't really care for the boy. And he really had a problem with him. So there were some things going back and forth between them. But looking at some of this stuff, reading from the Nazarite version of the scriptures, the whole attitude behind the story of the child Jesus, I'm just like, there's a stark difference, because that's not necessarily flowing in love for the most part. Yeah, he was defending himself or whatever. But from other versions, I'm just like, you know what? But that's actually a trend for those portions of the scriptures, whether you want to call them the Aaronic scriptures, Torah, they all follow that same guideline with that particular type of attitude, But now that I've been exposed to other ones where it changes the stories a little bit, or maybe are more authentic than those later coming stories, it's really interesting as I compare the two. Kings and Queens Coaching Group, shalom, shalom. All right, y'all. So let me start this. I just wanted to say that I haven't read ahead in this, but I thought about it when I read over the chapter, not the chapter title, and skimmed some of the titles or whatever. I was reminded of some of those childhood stories from Jesus that you can find throughout the pseudepigraphers and stuff like that. Okay, page 386. She who took birth on earth and was called the Magdalene is not only the watchtower of the flock and good shepherdess, but also the mother of the flock. Yea, she is my mother and your mother, Janah, the mother of all beings except the first Trinity, and Jade, for Jalah is her mother, and Jah and Jalah emanated from Yah, the original being. Behold, the fruit of the deep contemplation of Jaja was the divine plan. And from the divine plan came the way of creation. And the way is the great dance of the masculine and feminine. Look, I did not, I promise you, I didn't even skim down through this first page. But this whole masculine feminine thing was upon me today. That's pretty dope. Okay. Listen, verse 3. Behold, the fruit of the deep contemplation of Jah was the divine plan, and from the divine plan came the way of creation, and the way is the great dance of the masculine and the feminine, which is the dance of Jah and Jalah, and the dance of Jade and Janah. Lo, because Jah and Jalah were in bliss, enjoying the bliss of personal being in all being, which is the mystery of the individual and the all, they desired to share the bliss of personal being in all being with countless beings whom they would create. And they knew that they would create a place for their children to be and become according to the axiom of becoming, which is be, do, become. And that place was the mother ovum. Verse 9, but they knew that they must remain outside the mother ovum like a hen over her egg, wherefore they perform zimzim and emanation, creating the void called space, and leaving within it the only directly emanated son of Jah, and at his side the only directly emanated daughter of Jalah. And the name of the son is Jade, and the name of the daughter is Janah. And Jade is the supreme personality of the divine masculine eminent, and Janah is the supreme personality of the divine feminine eminent. This is pretty dope. I had no idea this would be talking about masculine and feminine today, y'all. I promise y'all. Y'all is my witness. I promise y'all. Jade is the supreme personality of the divine masculine eminent, and Janah is the supreme personality of the divine feminine eminent. And through the transcendental intercourse of Jade and Janah, all beings within the mother ovum are created. And the intercourse of Jade and Janah is not incest, because Jade was directly emanated by Jah, and Janah was directly emanated by Jalah. Wherefore, the son of Jah and the daughter of Jalah are eligible for intercourse. And this actually goes into detail, that particular part, all the way at the beginning as well. Derek, shalom. Verse 17, page 387. And as it is told in the Matanah, through union with Janah, Jade came into union with Jalah. And through union with Jade, Janah came into union with Jah. As it is written, Jah said, when Jade, the only directly begotten son of Jah, has union with Jalah, he will take within himself the feminine element of Jalah, and will then always be of both Jah and Jalah. And as it is written, Jalah said, when Janah, the only directly begotten daughter of Jalah, has union with Jade, she will take within herself the masculine element of Jah, and will then always be of both Jah and Jalah. Wherefore it is truly said, Jade is the son of Jah and Jalah. And it is likewise truly said, Janah is the daughter of Jah and Jalah. Yea, Jade and Janah are the way of creation conceived by Jah in their divine plan. Their dance of transcendental intercourse created every being within the mother ovum. Behold, the mask. This is blowing my mind. Behold, the masculine. Listen, I keep saying it just in case y'all miss my opening adoration for the Creator, because I wrote it down while I was, after I got done setting up what I was going. I was like, yeah, that's a good one. And so I wrote it down. I was like, Father, thank you for breaking apart the masculine, the masculine and feminine that we may, what I say? Hold on. Thank you for breaking apart the masculine and feminine properties to learn about them and their beauty and the whole about them, right? I said like a little bit different because I changed my words towards the bottom. But what I wrote down was, thank you for breaking apart the masculine and feminine properties to learn about the whole. That's what I wrote down, but I added some words of beauty and the differences between them, because I normally do that. I write down the basis of what I want to say, and then I'll add to it if I do or if I don't, right? But that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, this is blowing my mind. Okay. Verse 25. Behold, the masculine pole, Jade, has within him a spark of the feminine, but being a bit more masculine is of the masculine spin. And the feminine pole, Jana, has within her a spark of the masculine, but being a bit more feminine is of the feminine spin. It is that bit of difference that creates the motion of dance and makes possible the creation. That motion is the spiral dance, which is the Sarah, the creative whirlwind. And the Sarah, actually, it's Sahara. I said Sahara, but I just pronounce it now. Sarah, Sarah. Anytime I say Sarah in here, from the most part, from the time they started using that name, it's spelled Sarah. When you look at it, it's like Sahara, but I just say Sarah. Sarah. Okay. It is that bit of difference that creates the motion of the dance and makes possible creation. That motion is the spiral dance, which is the Sarah, the creative whirlwind. And the Sarah is the breathing of Jaja, each out breathing being Jade, each in breathing being Jana. Just me, shalom, Gloria, shalom, shalom. Okay. Verse 30. And Yah is the stillness between the breaths, and that stillness is true zero. Remember, true zero, we learned a few days ago, means balance. And Yah is the stillness between the breaths, and that stillness is true zero, the center and circumference of the masculine and feminine. From the Sarah, which is the dance of Jade and Jana, which is the dance of light, comes forth the from the Sarah, which is the dance of Jade and Jana, which is the dance of light, comes forth Nitzo or Hur, sparks of light. And each spark of light is a seed of light, a Zera or Hur. And each seed of light is a soul, a Nefesh. And each soul is created in the image and likeness of Elohim, and Elohim, the Lord Christ and Lady Christ, who are Jade and Jana, are themselves created in the image and likeness of the first Trinity, which is Yah, Jah, and Jala. Okay. Verse 36, page 388. And she who came to our world as the Magdalene, the watchtower of the flock, is Jana, who we call Miriam. Yea, Miriam, the Magdalene, is our mother. Praise the mother. Behold her incarnation when our mother entered the place where, behold her incarnation. When our mother entered the place wherein souls wait to enter incarnation in this world, she found it infested by parasites, for demonic entities had infiltrated this place. Y'all remember the movie Soul? We talked about this a couple times. The what is it? It's on Disney. I don't remember if it's Pixar or whichever one, but you can get it on Disney Plus. They had it at the movie theater, and it shows some of this. But I had no clue about this. We had actually been reading the Legends of the Jews, who has that story in it, how souls are created, which blew my mind. And the day that we read that was the day before we read that was the day that they actually started showing the previews for that movie. Blew my mind. So of course, when it actually came out to the theaters, we had to see it, and it blew my mind. I went back to this. I'm like, somebody has read the Legends of the Jews and made a kids Disney movie off of it. Verse 39, behold her incarnation. When our mother entered the place wherein souls waited to enter incarnation in this world, she found it infested by parasites, for demonic entities had infiltrated this place. And the Lady Christ cast them out, and then the lady made an incantation of banishment that the parasites not return to that place. Then our mother, the Lady Christ, entered the womb of Zebiah, for lo, though her soul was the daughter of Jaja and mother of our souls, her body was the daughter of man. And the birth of the Lady Christ was as follows. Behold, at the time of the birth of the Lady Christ, most Nazarene encampments were in Judea, Samaria, and Galilee. But at this time, there were also small Nazarene encampments in India, Egypt, and Ethiopia, and there were missions in other lands. Lo, the Nazarene encampment in Ethiopia was called Eden, in remembrance of the Garden of Eden, which had been in Cush. For behold, the land that was called Cush, which came to be called Ethiopia, has had many names and many boundaries. It's in my pocket. Verse 49, page 388. For behold, the land that was called Cush, which came to be called Ethiopia, has had many names and many boundaries. Even so, to Nazarenes, this land will always be Cush, for that name came from the tongue of cherubim. Behold, in the Nazarene village of Eden were some families long devoted to the order of the Immaculate Conception. For lo, Eden was a tributary home campus of that order. Now, besides the Nazarenes, there were many Aaronite Jews in Ethiopia. Remember, the Aaronite Jews are Israel. Ooh, my back itch. Okay. Now, besides the Nazarenes, there were many Aaronite Jews in Ethiopia. Yea, the Aaronites greatly outnumbered the Nazarenes and hated the Nazarenes. And the Aaronites were greatly outnumbered by the natives of Ethiopia, who were neither Nazarene nor Aaronite, but practiced their own pagan rites of various varieties. Like the Nazarenes, some of the natives worshiped both a god and goddess and venerated the nature spirits, wherefore they respected the Nazarenes and felt kinship with them. Yea, and these natives admired the discipline and holiness of the Nazarenes, wherefore these natives tried to protect the Nazarenes from the violence and persecution of the Aaronites, or from Israel. Behold, within the Nazarene encampment were prophets. And shortly before the birth of the holy babe Miriam, a prophet went forth from Eden and walked amongst the natives of Ethiopia. And he prophesied the coming of a queen, saying, behold, a queen shall be born to an Ethiopian woman of the Nazarenes. Yea, not a queen with a worldly kingdom, but the queen of the all. Remember, all is another word that they refer to the Creator as, which coincidentally Owaspy does as well, right? Our Lady, our Goddess, shall enter the world through the purified womb of an Ethiopian woman and the purified seed of an Ethiopian man. Behold, our Goddess comes not as a goddess, but as a perfected woman. And all women who embrace her teachings will find perfection. And all men who humble themselves to learn from her will find wisdom indeed. Behold, our queen shall be birthed from an Ethiopian womb. But the holy mother of our goddess will flee to Galilee, for the Aaronites shall slay her holy husband in Ethiopia and will hunt her like an animal. And from that day until the end of time, any Ethiopian who gives aid to the Nazarene remnant gives aid to our goddess and her holy mission. This aid is indeed and truth. This aid is indeed and truth and will not go unrewarded. And this prophet had no name, being called by the people simply the prophet. Lo, the word of the prophet was spread from village to village. In the Nazarene encampment of Eden, there was great excitement, for behold, this was the sixth generation since the founding of the order of the Immaculate Conception. And according to the words of the angel Gabriel, this generation would give birth to the seventh generation bodies suitable for the incarnations of the Lord and Lady. And I always recap this because this is similar to what the Lewis and Owaspy do. It takes literally says it takes 6 generations to create a child who can hear clearly, who has been purified through the bloodline and time of 6 generations of people from one particular bloodline to be able to hear voice of creator or walk in that love and light as a perfected person. Verse 74, and according to the words of the angel Gabriel, this generation would give birth to the seventh generation bodies suitable for the incantations of the Lord. Suitable for the incarnations of the Lord and Lady. Though only, O men, OMEN, though only, O men, our Jaja could know for certain a certain number of bloodlines had apparently maintained the required level of purity for 6 consecutive generations. One of the young women from such a bloodline was named Zibia, and Zibia was of a pure Ethiopian bloodline, as was her husband Zamira, a harp player, though their names were Hebrew from Nazarene scriptures written in that tongue. And lo, it was from the purified womb of Zibia and the purified seed of Zamira that the holy babe Miriam came forth into the world. And the birth of our goddess eminent Jannah as Miriam was as follows. Behold, the holy day ordained by men for the coming into the world of our goddess had come. 2 Nazarene midwives came to the home of Zibia and Zamira, and a Nazarene prophet and a prophetess who were friends and teachers of the holy couple read sacred scrolls. Yea, the wise ones uttered words of prophecy, and all 6 who were present, including the holy couple, chanted prayers and sang songs. And Zamira played his harp, the sound of which was as though from heaven. Lo, the home was filled with love and light. Yea, it was as though this home were a holy temple. And when the time had come for Zibia to give birth, she did so in the manner of the Nazarenes, squatting with her back leaning on Zamira, who was on his knees behind her. With great joy, the Holy Mother Zibia gave birth to baby Miriam, Queen of the All. And so it was that the Queen of Heaven came to earth in Ethiopia, the most ancient land of Eden. The Holy Child grew strong, nourished first by the milk of the Holy Mother Zibia, then by the fleshless foods of the Nazarenes, and that food was anointed with the oil of the holy hemp seed after the manner of the Nazarenes. Yea, and she was nourished also by the celestial harp of the Holy Father Zemiria. For lo, there had never been one who played the harp with the transcendental grace of this Ethiopian man, and never was there a man who could sing as much like an angel as Zemiria. The Holy Child sat with Zamira each day, singing and learning to play the harp. Her voice exceeded even his in transcendental excellence, and soon even her harp playing exceeded his. Peaceful childhood stories about Miriam, the wondrous girl child. Verse 99 on page 390. For a time, Miriam enjoyed a peaceful childhood. She played in nature with the creatures of old Eden, and for to her they revealed themselves. She healed people and animals, often by the sound of her voice. She studied with an aged Yedoni, a mass skill from Alexandria named Barhesed, And after Gideoni is reference number 1, at the bottom it says Gideoni means knowing one and is usually translated into English as wizard. And after Maskil, Maskil is reference number 2, a Maskil from Alexandria. Maskil means teacher. Verse 103. These were peaceful, happy years. Here follows a sampling of stories from the years of the peaceful childhood of Miriam, the wondrous girl child. The first one is entitled The Light Around Miriam. Jamia, hey girl, hey. Kizzy, shalom, shalom. Just looking back up. Shogun Dontrell, shalom, shalom. Tabitha, hey girl, hey. Kizzy, hey girl, hey. Jamia, hey girl, hey. Amos 9 and 7 just me posted. Are you not as children of the Ethiopians unto me? Oh, good. First of all, good remembering that, being able to pull that out, just me. Sometimes I think you sit with something and just typing in random keywords or whatever, pulling up script. Now I know you definitely know it. For you to be able to put them up like that's pretty dope. Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt? Wow, that's a good one. Yahweh, peace and blessings. All right, y'all. Let me get back to this. Okay. The light around Miriam. Miriam was goddess come as woman to show the way of perfected womanhood. Wherefore, it was necessary that she veil much of her transcendental light. Yea, much of her light was veiled when she was born into this world. Even so, much light was within her human form. Yea, even veiled, the light within her was so bright that if she released too much at once, it could blind them of this world, even as staring at the sun can blind a man. By the time Miriam was an older child, she had learned to perfectly release her light. Now, you know something interesting to me? Some people, when they spend time in prayer and meditation, they have like this, you don't just do it like once. There's like a period of time where this happens as you're like cleansing yourself spiritually. And I don't necessarily think it has to do with what particular set of scriptures or religion that you are using, right? Because I've noticed it from different people from different sects. But I think the key is those are the ones that happen to, no matter what faction of religion they're in. I think from what I understand from whom I've observed, those are ones, not saying everybody ain't seeking creator, because everybody not, but those are ones who are like, that's all they had, that's all they knew, but their hearts were pure in searching for creator. And even if they was worshiping a false god at the time, they thought they were, and they thought they were worshiping true creator. But I was saying that to say this. I've noticed sometimes there is this light that emanates from them, right? And I think it's pretty cool. All right. Just me is all William. Okay, he gave us another scripture, Exodus 34:35. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put a veil upon his face again until he went to speak with him. Yeah, that's good. So I remember the first time, like I had never thought about it until I remember I had graduated high school. This is when I had my little apartment where I was throwing them parties on the weekends, filling up the bathtub with looking stuff and making drinks, right before I went into the military. But right before Rent-A-Center came and got all my stuff. Look, but right before, it was like a few weeks before I went to the military, I had already signed up, went to MEPS and everything, did all that stuff. But I had really begun to think about my life, like I really did. And so what I began to do, I started praying. And that's when I think it was that point. I mean, I used to read it growing up, but after, going through high school and stuff and here and there, your mama said, read your Bible and all that stuff or whatever. But there was that point when I realized I really need to be doing something with my life. I got a whole child out here in these streets, right? I'm saying this is not cool what I'm doing, with the parties and stuff and all, just being, um, I realized I was like, yo, this is not cool. I cannot allow my son to watch me grow up and do things like this. So, but what I did, I made the decision. I was like, you know what, I got to do something. I need some more discipline. And the military has always been my last choice. Even when it was in high school, you know how they had like the job fairs when you were in high school, they come set up their little table and stuff. And the military would be there all the time. And, they'd be calling, like, come on over here. Let me tell you. I was like, no, my daddy was a crazy Marine. Absolutely not. I ain't going to nobody's military. Thank you anyway. Right. So I always walk past. I was like, I'm never going to nobody's military. I'll get me a job somewhere else. I'm going to go to college, whatever. Right. But that was my whole attitude. You ask me, absolutely am not going, So I started like my first semester in college, but I had the most boringest teacher, y'all seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, his teacher, Bueller, like the most monotonous, just like, oh my God, do you speak in any other tone? Do you inflect your voice at all? Right. And she was a female. I couldn't stand it. I was like, I cannot sit through this class anymore. Like her voice doesn't change. Her facial expression doesn't change. Like I can't even tell you what this woman has said to me. Like, because it's like, how sometimes it's like this background noise and you hear it for so long, it just kind of fades out and you don't hear it anymore. I literally could not hear the teacher. I literally could not hear her. I didn't know what she was saying. And when I did hear her voice, it was like Charlie Brown, mama, teach whoever, wonk, 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 wonk. And it baffled me. I'm like, I probably ain't even supposed to be in college. Let me leave out here. I did. I went down to the counselor's office. I said, I can't do this. If you can't change and give me another teacher, I was like, you know what? I think I might just need to take a break anyway. I don't think this is for me. This was my first semester, first couple weeks. I'm like, yo, no, go ahead and drop me, B. This, I can't do this. And for a couple weeks after that, I'm like, I got to do something. I was trying to do something because I'd already had a child. I'm like, I got to do something with my life, So then I was like, the military started calling me. I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Don't even. I don't know what voice that said that, but I'm not going to the military. So I went and got a little job here, a little job there, but it kept getting more frustrating as the days went on. So one day when I was over at my mama's house, I said, you know what? Mom, can you watch Elijah for a few minutes? And Elijah, I don't even know if Elijah was like one. I was like, can you watch him for a few minutes? I'm gonna go down. No. She asked me to go to the store, but that whole day I had been thinking about it. She asked me to go to the store to get something. I think it was some bread or something like that. I don't remember exactly what, but while I was out, the store that I went to, the recruiter's office was right there. And so I decided to go ahead and go in there simply because I just had been hearing it. It was like it wouldn't let me go. So I went in there to talk to him, walked right in. I walked right past the Marines. I'm like, don't even think I'm gonna look y'all way. Right. I really wanted to go to the Air Force, but they weren't out. And Army, they out there in front line on the ground too. I could possibly get shot. Nope, not going to you. But Petty Officer Perkins, bright and jippery, sitting in a Navy recruiter's office, right? Girl, come on in. Don't worry about them anyway. This is where you want to go. You looking for the Air Force? I don't even think they're coming back to this office no more. Of course, he was being funny. He said, no, they're out on the break. He said, but come look at us. We have our own Air Force. We have our own aircraft carriers, our own fleet. I was like, really? Because I hadn't thought about it. I was like, well, okay. So he kind of got me with that. I figured, all right, I'll entertain your little story. So I'll wait for the Air Force people to get back. Got me in there, hooked me. And I was Navy ready, baby. Mind you, I spent 5 years active duty on an aircraft carrier. And so, but best time of my life, really. But what was the whole point of getting into this story, y'all? Hold on. I gotta find out where I was at first. I don't even remember what I told. Oh, that's right. the light that exudes from people. But all of that happened. But shortly before then, right before I gave up my apartment because I was going to the military, I had to give up everything and ship on out the boot camp. I had actually started studying my Bible a little bit more, and I hadn't told my mama that, but I spent time in there. I would always see her when I would see her prayer, whatever, she would always lay prostrate on the floor, so I just kind of, by watching her, anytime I would pray, I would just lay on the floor prostrate, praying my prayers. But I was really sincere. I really wanted to change my life, do something with it, because I had a child, I was responsible for it now, and I just needed some guidance. But what happened one day, the first time somebody ever even mentioned, like, there's like this light coming from you, it was my mama. And I had spent a couple of weeks daily in the house, reading my Bible and praying and stuff. I didn't tell anybody I was doing that. But my mama, when she saw me this one day, she was like, "Your face is bright." I was like, "But I am pretty light skinned." She said, "No." She said, "There's a different brightness about your face, And so that's all she said. And she just looked at me a couple times. And she was like, "Okay." And so of course, my dumb self, I go to the mirror. I'm like, "What do you mean bright?" No, it's just her light. She changed her light bulbs or something, bright. But over the next couple days, a couple people, even going to the store and stuff, a couple people like, "Your face is bright." I'm like, my mama just told me that the other day. So now I kind of understand, like, as you begin to pray, those who really seek, and there is this supernatural brightness, the light, the Moses face, all that really is a thing. It happens, so I guess I don't know at what time it shows or whatever, but a lot of times, from my understanding, from my experience, it really does happen a lot when you come out of times of prayer and consecration and stuff. That's time when other people can actually see glimpses of that. It may not be as bright as Moses, but I'm just saying. But that was interesting. Okay, so let's get back to this. Who we at? Oh, we got like 10 minutes left. Okay. The light around Miriam. Verse 105. Nazarene is seen. Shalom, shalom. All right. Page 390, verse 105. I'm going to just start over. The light around Miriam. Miriam was goddess, come as woman to show the way of perfected womanhood. Wherefore it was necessary that she veil much of her transcendental light. Yea, much of her light was veiled when she was born into this world. Even so, much light was within her human form. Yea, even veiled, the light within her was so bright that if she released too much at once, it could blind them of this world, even as staring at the sun can blind a man. By the time Miriam was an older child, she had learned to perfectly release her light. But lo, when she was still a very small child, she three times blinded people with her light. Fortunately, the blessed child then healed each of the three of their blindness. That story is as follows. This talks about the light in Owaski too, in a lot of detail about the light that exudes from higher beings as well. That story is as follows. But a toddler, Miriam was playing in the garden. She beheld a hummingbird and experienced a joyous rapture. Yea, she was carried away with such love and joy and appreciation that bright light. Hold on. Yea, she was carried away with such love and joy and appreciated that bright light radiated from her. The light was so bright that a man working in the garden, when he gazed at the toddler Miriam, saw nothing but a bright light. And the light was so bright, like the sun, that it blinded his eyes. When Miriam heard the man scream that he had been blinded, she veiled her light. Then she touched the man's eyes and he could see. Another time, the toddler Miriam witnessed a mother dog playing with her puppy. When the mother dog kissed the puppy, Miriam laughed with such heartfelt joy that the owner of the dog looked directly at her. Behold, she was in a state of joyous rapture and shone like the sun. The light around her was so bright that the owner of the dog was blinded. When she heard him cry out that he was blind, the holy toddler wept tears of compassion for him. Then she walked over to where the man had fallen onto his back. As she bent over him, one of her tears landed upon his forehead. The man was healed of his blindness. Once, when Miriam was a toddler, her father, Zamira, put her on his back and let her ride on him as if he were an elephant. Miriam was delighted. Then, when Zamira pretended that he had a big trunk like an elephant, Miriam laughed with such joy that she shone like the sun. Her mother, Zibia, looking at the joyous toddler, was blinded by the light. Miriam ran and embraced her mother's leg. With the touch of Miriam, Zibia was healed. Miriam and the unicorn of Mahiba. Verse 135. Once, while playing in the woods behind her home, the toddler Miriam was translated to Mahiba, the highest heaven within the mother ovum. And after Mahiba, Madhebah is reference number 3. And this is a pretty long footnote. All right. 3 at the bottom says, the Nazarene word Mahiba means golden realm and refers to the highest heaven within the mother ovum. A similar but later Hebrew word means both golden and fury, but is not the same as the Nazarene word. The Nazarene word Mahiba is from the tongue of the cherubim and long predates the later Hebrew word. Mahiba, the highest heaven in the mother ovum, is located at the spiritual center of the mother ovum, whereat Jah and Jallah perform Zimzum. Tzim. This is the ultimate paradise within the mother ovum and is where the Alafim, Alefim, Alafim is plural and means elves, Elves. Let me start this sentence over. This is the ultimate paradise within the mother ovum and is where the Alafim is plural and means elves. It is from the singular Aleph. It is from the singular Aleph, Alef, which is the Nazarene word for elf, as well as the name of the first letter of the Nazarene and Hebrew alphabet. Unicorns and other heavenly creatures of Old Eden have their origin. Madheba, the highest heaven within the mother ovum, should not be confused with heaven most high, which is the abode of Jah and Jallah outside and surrounding the mother ovum. The term golden realm does not refer to the presence of metal gold or the color of the realm, but is symbolic of a spiritual crown of gold, since the highest heaven of the mother ovum is literally the crown chakra or kether of the chain of heavenly worlds within the mother ovum. By the term highest heaven, we do not refer to spatial height or elevation. Rather, we refer to elevation of consciousness. By the term highest heaven, we do not refer to the spatial height or elevation. Rather, we refer to elevation of consciousness. Madheba, the highest heaven of the mother ovum, is the primordial Eden called the mother of delight, which is the mother of every Eden and every heaven of every world. The Alafim were the most human-like creatures of this primordial Eden, in the sense that their physical forms are more humanoid than, say, the equally spiritually exalted unicorns of Madheba. Like the race of Alafim, no unicorn has ever fallen from the heavens, though they may visit contested worlds or hell realms on missions of mercy. The Alafim, unicorns, and other exalted creatures of the primordial Eden of Madheba serve as the vanguard of the body of Christ, visiting the various worlds of the mother ovum on missions for the Lord and Lady. As such, As such, they are the ultimate archangels of the mother ovum. And that's the end of that footnote. So we'll go back up. We're going to pause. We're going to pause after this story at verse 153 because it breaks off into another story. All right. Verse 135. Miriam and the unicorn of Medheba. Once, while playing in the woods behind her home, the toddler Miriam was translated to Medheba, the highest heaven within the mother ovum. By this, we mean that she was suddenly no longer in the woods behind her home in this world, but was in Medheba, which means golden realm in the tongue of the cherubim. There, she was greeted by a beautiful unicorn named Starlight. Miriam said to Starlight, "I remember you. You have for countless ages been my dear friend." Starlight nodded in agreement, then said, "When you went to be born on earth, you bid me to wait in Medheba for your return. But this is too soon for your return, for you will live to be a grown woman on earth before returning for me on Medheba. Why have you come now while still a small child?" Miriam replied, "I was remembering you while playing in the garden behind my home. When I recalled your face, behold, I was here." The unicorn of Medheba and Miriam, the earth child, played a while. Then Starlight said, "You must return to earth, but I will meet you here again at the appointed time. Behold, some of my kind still live on earth, along with other creatures of old Eden, though they reveal themselves not to most humans. Hold on, let me go back. The unicorn of Medheba and Miriam, the earth child, played a while. Then Starlight said, "You must return to earth, but I will meet you here again at the appointed time. But behold, some of my kind still live on earth, along with other creatures of old Eden, though they reveal themselves not to most humans. They will reveal themselves to you. Find them, and you will have playmates." Miriam thought of Mother Zeba back on earth. Then, as suddenly as she had come to Medheba, she was back on earth. At the moment she returned to the garden of earth, her mother Zeba peeked over at her from the row she was wedding. Zibia never knew that Miriam had been gone, for behold, time in Medheba is not like time in our world. Lo, Miriam had enjoyed a nice long playtime with Starlight, but only the blink of an eye had passed in our world. And this is when you learn how to astral project, if you want to call it that, or have out of body experiences. You can literally think and be back somewhere, right? So if you're taking out of body just by a thought or meditation or whatever, you can get back to your body just by thinking, and you can return. A lot of people have said that as well when they do this. All right, so we are at our time. Well, actually, we only been live for 40. I'm okay because we start. You know what? Let me keep going for a few minutes. I'm looking at the time. It says I've only been live 49 minutes. So what I do? Let me read this next story and then we'll pause. That should take us to the hour mark. Okay, that's what we'll do. But I forgot I haven't adjusted my alarm. It's going off and giving me reminders like we started at 6:15, but we started at 6:25. So I'm gonna give y'all an extra 10 minutes. I'm gonna give myself the extra 10 minutes because I really want to read the story. Okay, page 392. The magical fifth birthday, Miriam and the unicorns of Old Eden, and the gift of a pentagram pendant from Bar Hesed on her first day of butterfly school. Behold, it is an ancient Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth each year. At this time, we give thanks to Yahweh for our life, the life of this lifetime, and the eternal life of our spirit. I love this. I know, because as you listen, we go through different phases. What did I do with that? Oh, I stuck it in my pocket. We go through these different phases when we're waking up out of the deep delusion and the pagan holidays and all of this stuff. And it was like, we didn't celebrate not birthday. Like we stopped celebrating everything. I remember talking to my uncle one time. I was like, what? And it just kind of sum up the conversation. He said, listen, and this was first pertaining to like Christmas. He said, well, when you take something away, replace it with something. He said, think about some suitable things that are a little bit more righteous in nature, that you can replace Christmas with, right? And I chose Hanukkah at that time, right? So don't just take something away, because like you take away everything from everybody, it's like now they're gonna rebel because you left them with nothing, right? And we are created to celebrate and be in communities. And when you go through these, removing yourself from pagan holidays, you also, a lot of people, they don't rightly decipher and discern, and they also separate themselves away from family, or when they come, family don't want them to be around because you this is pagan holiday, what y'all celebrating for, like all this, you got to go through all of that, right? But as I grew over the years, I'm like, you know what, I gotta stop this crap. I don't want to separate myself in that way where I make myself estranged from family members. Because when we think about it, it's not necessarily the holiday that we enjoy so much, right? If you learn how to separate truth from error, it's not necessarily the holiday. It's family time and the good food and the talking about and reminiscing on previous memories. And that's the whole field. That's what we have merged with the pagan holidays. So you got to learn how to like take a surgeon's knife and rightly divide those things, and then I was able to, you can still on these days or whatever, you can hang out with family or whatever. You just rightly divide truth and what it is you're really there for, right? So you won't drive a bunch of people away while you're still a novice in your belief and what you actually understand to be the truth. It's still kind of skewed a little bit anyway. All right. I'm going to start at 154 again. Behold, it is an ancient Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth each year, which is why we started celebrating birthdays again. I appreciate all the holidays, but right, I like that. I appreciate all of the holidays, but with proper overstanding. Amanda, shalom, shalom. This was back when talking about the light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So I had to chime in because I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings. Oh, catch the family tomorrow. All right, just me. And everybody else that came in hanging out in the background. Top of the day to y'all. Okay, listen. Behold, it is an ancient Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth each year. At this time, we give thanks to Yahweh for our life, the life of this lifetime, and the eternal life of our spirit. Yea, we dive into ecstasy of the great appreciation. Also, at this time, we commune deeply with the angel of holy work, offering ourselves as hands and feet of the Lord and Lady, and seeking guidance to work out our life purpose. Lo, the angel of work will help us do these things at any time of the day. Even so, it is wise to seek an especially deep communion with this angel on the anniversary of our human birth. Behold, it is also Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth. Behold, it is also Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth by giving a gift of appreciation to Yahweh in the form of a good deed well done on this day. This can be as simple as giving a gift to another or helping another in some way. Even the offering up of a special prayer on behalf of another will fulfill this obligation. And this is backwards because you receiving gifts. You should actually be given a gift. All right, that's pretty dope. Giving a gift to another on your birthday in appreciation for your life, a deed well done in appreciation of Yahweh. Behold, it is also Nazarene tradition to celebrate the anniversary of our birth by giving a gift of appreciation to Yahweh in the form of a good deed well done on this day. This can be as simple as giving a gift to another or helping another in some way. Even the offering up of a special prayer on behalf of another will fulfill this obligation. It is also Nazarene custom to graciously receive any gifts that our friends and loved ones may choose to bestow on the anniversary of our birth as a token of their appreciation for our life. I like it. Even so, our focus should be on the giving of a gift to Yahweh on the anniversary of our birth, not on what gifts others may choose to bestow upon us. It was on the occasion of the celebration of her 15th birthday that Miriam first met a unicorn of Old Eden on this world. Previously, when but a toddler, Miriam had met a unicorn of the heavenly world, Mahiba, which is the highest heaven of the mother ovum, yea, and is the primordial Eden we call mother of the light, which is the mother of every Eden and every heaven of every world. That unicorn was her old friend from countless pastimes, Starlight. And Starlight told her that though it was not yet time for Starlight to visit the earth or for Miriam to return to Mehiba, there were other unicorns from Old Eden still living on earth. Yea, and Starlight said that these unicorns would be little Miriam's playmates. Here follows the story of Miriam's first encounter with a unicorn of Old Eden. Behold, this story is also an account of her first day at butterfly school and the gift given to her by Bar Hesed the wizard. Lo, the occasion of Miriam's 5th birthday was her first day of study within Bet Ha Para Parim, the house of butterflies, which is called Butterfly School. And after Bet Ha Par Parim, Beyt, second word Ha Haparparim, Bet Ha Par Parim, the house of butterflies is reference number 4. Down at the bottom it says, in both modern Hebrew and ancient Nazarene Hebrew, the word par means butterfly. The Nazarene plural form is par parim. The Hebrew word bet means house. The house of butterflies is also called Butterfly School and is a children's religious school within the Nazarene Mystery School called Essene Mountain of Peace. Behold, this is the children's school within the Essene Mountain of Peace, the Nazarene Mystery School. We back up. That was verse 171. Verse 172. Before the age of 5, Nazarene children are taught informally by their parents. But at age 5, a Nazarene begins formal learning within Butterfly School, a name that pleases small children and has a profound meaning. Yea, the term Butterfly School has profound meaning. For behold, in the manner that the caterpillar first crawls and then takes to the air as a butterfly, so is the path of the student. This is crazy. Not crazy. I'm just thinking about, because I homeschool the kids, and now we go to like the library. My nieces come, my nephew, like all of this stuff. And the conversation we was having yesterday, and this one lady that had walked up. This is crazy. This is crazy. Listen. Yea, the term butterfly school has profound meaning. For behold, in the manner that the caterpillar first crawls and then takes to the air as a butterfly, so is the path of the student. Yea, and so is the path of a well-lived human life. Behold, the goals of the lessons within the house of butterflies are called the Bikurim, which means the first fruits. And after Bikurim, it's reference number 5, and 5 at the bottom says, Bikurim means first fruits. The singular Bikur means first fruit. Go back up, verse 178. And the first goal of the lessons is to teach Hesed, Hesed, which means kindness. Wherefore Hesed is called the Bikur, which means the first fruit. For lo, what good is any knowledge if one has not a foundation of kindness? Oh, you better teach. Listen, how many people teach angrily, especially when they come out of a deep delusion and then they want to shove all manner of Hebrew scriptures down your throat and stuff? They're doing the same thing the Christians do, not realizing it, posting all these mad posts. I mean, I was there. I used to do this. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me, right? But listen, now I don't normally delete stuff. Now I'll leave my videos up, But some of my posts from like earlier on, quite a few years ago, especially when I was posting a lot of the Hebrew stuff, as I looked at it after I was like, "Ooh, this sounds really harsh." And I went through and I deleted so much of that stuff. But my videos, I left those up. But some of them posts, some people may never watch the videos. Over the videos, you can kind of get the feel and you can see me adjusting. But some of them posts don't offer you the same type of it was just different. And I was like, oh, like I literally wanted to throw up. And I posted that crap. I just deleted it all. I'm like, oh, I can't leave this up. I leave my videos up like this because you can actually see because sometimes some people they may never see the videos, but if they come there once, no, and I'd be defeating my own purpose. There's like no way to, I don't know, sometimes you can't come back from some of those things that kind of makes sense, right? So with the videos, it's moving in motion. I may say something silly that may keep their attention when they first ready to chop my head off. I'm like, well, let me hear this crazy girl out for a second, right? Those are kind of adjust and you see, but some of them posts are unrelenting, and I had to burn them down myself. All right, listen, verse 177. This is good. Kindness. And especially when you're talking to people, well, especially even when you're talking to Christians and stuff. And even though we know that they may be in a deep delusion, strong delusion, all this stuff, as you grow in wisdom, you really learn how to deal with people in a different manner in light of the love of Creator. It makes a world of difference. Even if they still mock you and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, we just have to learn how to be better. Robin, shalom, sis. Justine said, Josephus teaches, nay, indeed, the law does not permit us to make festivals at the births of our children, and thereby afford occasions of drinking to excess. Had to stop. I got issues with Josephus. not that what he didn't say, not that what he said is not true, right? Because that is indeed a fact. Some people will use occasions like this to completely glut themselves, right? Debauchery and everything. They will use this as an excuse, right? But that just goes to show how immature they are, not just mentally, but as well as spiritually. So I take issue with Josephus on a whole nother level about stuff and some of his scribing and retelling of stories. But that I agree with. But I understand balance in some things that I'm not beholden to drink like that anyway. Now food may be another issue, but still. But I'm like, at least it's not flesh meats, but still the sugar and stuff is just as addictive, because it breaks down in the body the same way that alcohol does. And literally those who are addicted to food and sweets, they got the same issue that alcoholics have, because it's breaking down and assimilating through the body in the same way, so, but I get it. Okay, listen. Verse 177, page 393. Behold, the goals of the lessons within the house of butterflies are called the Bikurim, which means the first fruits. And the first goal of the lessons is to teach Hesed, Hesed, which means kindness. Wherefore, Hesed is called the Bikur, which means the first fruit. For lo, what good is any knowledge? For behold, what good is any knowledge if one has not a foundation in kindness, right? We don't care what you got to say. You're going to be coming talking to me out the side of your face. Who think I'm going to listen to you? Why are you mad? Like, what are you mad for, right? If you're trying to teach me something, why are you mad about it? I've grown a lot in that area. And so it was that on her 5th birthday, Miriam showed up at the teaching house for beginning students. A wise sage from Alexandria named Bar Hesed, which means son of kindness, was the master teacher of the house of butterflies. And though he usually taught the older children, he also taught the first few lessons of each new student before introducing them to the teacher for their age group. This he did so he could make friends with each new student and get a feel for their needs and interests. Wherefore, he was the teacher for Miriam's first day at the House of Butterflies. And from that day on, because he recognized her unusual capabilities and even perceived her true identity, Bar has said often gave Miriam special tutoring. Yea, on her first day, he called her Batqol, Batqol, which means daughter of the voice, in recognition of the healing power of her voice. And she was known by that name throughout her schooling in the Mountain of Peace and also by her birth name, Miriam. On her first day of butterfly school, Bar has said taught Miriam about kindness. Yea, he taught her about the 5 precepts of kindness for people of the upright star. And at the upright star is reference number 6. 6 at the bottom says, the wording of the 5 precepts of kindness for people of the upright star and how those precepts are symbolized by the 5-pointed pentagram is given in a later section on Yeshua's first day of butterfly school in Alexandria, Egypt. Go back up, verse 190. And her first assignment was to memorize the first sentence of the first precept of kindness. The first precept of kindness is as follows: be kind to all creatures as you wish kindness done to you. For so it will be done, if not in this life, then in the life to come. At the end of her first day at butterfly school, behold, Bar Hesed gave her a gift. This gift was in celebration of her 5th birthday and in recognition of her first day of butterfly school. It was a pentagram pendant, which is the symbol of the 5 precepts of kindness and of the human being perfected in love. Outside of the teaching house for her age group, which was near the other teaching houses for other age groups, was a vast garden with an orchard. After receiving her gift from Bar Hesed at the end of her first day, Miriam played in the garden outside the teaching house while she waited for her mother Zibia. There were other children playing in the garden, but none in the orchard. Miriam walked into the orchard and sang the words of the first sentence of the first precept of kindness. Then behold, she was suddenly surrounded by 5 unicorns of old Eden. Lo, the unicorns formed a circle around Miriam and sang with her. One unicorn said, we 5 unicorns now symbolize the 5 points of the star, and you are our heart. For the center of the star is the heart of kindness, and you are the mother of kindness, come in the form of daughter. Then they danced with her and took turns giving her rides. Miriam said, I am riding unicorns. What a wonderful birthday gift. I am truly blessed and give heartfelt thanks to Jaja for my life. Tonight before bed, I will commune with the angel of holy work and ask that my life work be revealed unto me. Then behold, the unicorns each gave her a kiss on the cheek and then vanished as Mother Zibia approached the orchard. On the walk home, Miriam told her mother about how wonderful was butterfly school. That night, Miriam gifted her mother and father with acts of kindness, cleaning the house and drawing them a picture of the tree of life. Then, with her mother's permission, Miriam took a gift of fruit to an elderly widow who lived nearby. The joy of the elderly widow was such that Miriam felt even happier when she had received her own birthday gifts. Such is the secret that is no secret to eyes that see. Such is the secret that is no secret to eyes that see. Such is the way of heaven. You have been handed the golden key, but did you notice? The golden key unlocks the door of heaven only when used. These verses are for you when you recognize that they are for you. Only then can you use the key that is offered. Until then, you are in spiritual poverty. Until then, you remain in pain. After then, heaven is within you wherever you roam. And only then may you enter the heavenly worlds peopled by heavenly beings. Take refuge in such worlds on occasions. On other occasions, travel to contested worlds and teach the way. Jah, and Elohim want both for you. That just kind of changed at the end. That's good though. But that's the end of this section. It went from, hold on, let me go back just to make sure it's a secret. Okay, so from verse 215 all the way down is no longer talking about Miriam, but it's talking directly to the reader, right? Let me read it again, and then we're going to be done. Okay. Such is the secret, this on page 394, verse 215. Such is the secret that is no secret to eyes that see. Such is the way of heaven. Have you been handed the golden key? You have been handed the golden key, but did you notice? The golden key unlocks the door of heaven only when used. These verses are for you when you recognize they are for you. Only then can you use the key that is offered. Until then, you are in spiritual poverty. Until then, you remain in pain. After then, heaven is within you wherever you roam, and only then may you enter the heavenly worlds peopled by heavenly beings. Take refuge in such worlds on occasion. On other occasions, travel to contested worlds and teach the way. Jaja and Elohim want both for you. And that is going to be the end of our reading today. So now I got to go back and reread this because the telling of these stories seem like there's hidden keys, like a parable or something, right? Just like learning about how to become a queen of seven, right? And going to the different places along the River Jordan, right? Which is actually the spinal cord and hitting the different chakra points. Like there clearly, I got to go back because I think I missed it. I got to go back and read this today. Okay. All right, y'all. So with that being said, that is it. That was that page. We'll pick this back up with this next section tomorrow called The Enchanted Garden, 7 Gifts from the Alafim to Miriam on the occasion of her 7th birthday with the gifts of Gabriel and Ishael. Well, that's going to be full of golden nuggets. I can tell just by the numbers that they're using. Okay, y'all. It is Thursday, June the 22nd, 2023, day 62 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. And of the 5-year consecutive day count, it is day 1441. We started chapter 8 in the Holy God Spell. We started on page 386, and we paused here on page 394, which is verse 227, the last one. So we'll start tomorrow, verse 228, page 394. All right. So with that being said, you know what? There was something in here earlier. I want to use that at the beginning of the chapter for the yes, for the adoration, right? Father, we thank you that you are the stillness between our breaths, right? And that stillness is true zero, balance, right? He is the balance between the breaths that we breathe, which is also, the center and circumference of the masculine and feminine. That was just amazing. The stillness between breaths. All right, beautiful people. So with that being said, easy you late. It's recorded. You can go back and always watch it when you get a chance. All right, y'all. Shogun said, I just watched Shazam 2, and the unicorn was special for some reason. You know, we have not watched that. My kids been talking about it, but we haven't watched it yet. So we'll probably definitely watch it here in the next few days. Now that you say it's a unicorn in it. All right, y'all. Yosef Ben Yisrael, shalom, shalom. Everybody that came in, thank y'all for hanging out. That is it for today, beautiful people. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Ooh, did I share it? I don't think I did. But remember what Jeremiah? Did I? I don't know. I forget. If I didn't, I will. I don't remember if I shared it. Let me see real quick. What Jeremiah mentioned yesterday. I think I did. Let me see. Community. I did share it. Okay. I was half asleep because I had to rewind it. The new by Dr. Stephen Grill. This is amazing. And I thought the one I was trying to remember was I forget the name again. The fifth kind. Let me look up this name right now. Hold on, because this is gonna pluck my nerves. Yeah, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind by Dr. Stephen Greer. When you get a chance, watch that. But this right here, The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It, is even more insightful. I'm not sure anywhere other than Prime where you can actually watch this, because I looked on a couple places, but I've only found it on Prime. When I found it on Prime, I just watched it then. Jeremiah said he watched it on Prime too. So, but I still want to check other locations. But right now it looks as if it's only on Prime. And I'm not sure. I know YouTube sometimes allow you to watch. Let me see. I'll put it in here. YouTube, here's a. This was really, really good. I shared it. Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay, so there it is again, y'all. Y'all get a chance, watch that. That is really, really good. It's really insightful. And I thought it was amazing, especially with some of the things that we are uncovering and learning about. I'm like, yo, they definitely running into higher beings. They're still calling them aliens. And so I'm like, bro, these is humans. Some of these ships or whatever, Owaspie talking. I'm like, yo, they talk about it in Owaspie, you know. So I'm still, I don't know, y'all. Some of this stuff, I'm just, it's blowing my mind on multiple different levels, you know. So, but really check that out. Jeremiah made me sit and watch it yesterday. Listen, you remember yesterday we was talking about skunk booty? So this is what I was like, Jeremiah, I'm gonna watch it, because I was trying to cook and I was watching this. He said, Mom, he said, listen, just I'm gonna let it play. He said, take your headphones out your ear. He said, just watch this while you're in there, because I can see the TV from here. He said, you have to watch this. I was like, okay, Jeremiah. So I took my headphones. I was obedient. I took my headphones out my ear and he put it on. And so I was moving around the kitchen. But what caught my attention was they started talking about skunk works. I'm like, and so the skunk from this morning, I'm like, okay, there might be a sign or something. I really need to pay attention to this. And when I heard them start talking about skunk works, I'm like, oh shoot, you know, because I was like, give me the remote. I take it all the way back to the beginning. I think I was about 20, maybe 30 minutes in when they mentioned skunk works the first time, what was going on. And so I took it all the way back to the beginning. I'm like, holy crap. You know, so he's been telling me for days, Mom, you have to watch this. You have to watch it. I was like, Jeremiah, I'm going to get to it. I got so much stuff I'm doing. You know how much stuff I got to watch? I got homework. I got to finish, you know, all of this. But when you get a chance, y'all, watch it. Even if it's not to this weekend or whenever you make time, but watch it. All right. And let me know what y'all think about this. All right, y'all. Eternal Learner really enjoyed this reading and found answers to this week's questions of how best to introduce this to my visiting young granddaughter. Butterfly school it is. I love that, right? The girls love it. My nieces and my daughter, what, butterfly school? Yes. The boys will be like, butterfly school? Why can't we name it something like G.I. Joe? Something like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just keep the name of my home school. Ancient Wisdom Academy. Like, I'm gonna actually design a logo. Like I see it in my head, you know, the design or whatever. But I ordered, like, what we do our annual testing at, there's a site where you can go, you can have student IDs and stuff made. So I even got student IDs for my kids that got the name of our homeschool, Ancient Wisdom Academy, you know, because as we develop a little bit more, we'll add the meditation portions in there and, you know, all of this good stuff. So I think I'm gonna just leave it as is, and we'll add elements of the butterfly school and stuff into it. But butterfly vortex, yeah, I love it. All right, y'all, that's it. I gotta get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day today. And I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eyes.
Been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the crazy wall of cold sign.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the crazy wall of cold sign.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this material universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
I forgot to end my video. Forgot to remove me while I'm clicking through the comments so y'all can see. I do this from time to time. I forget to remove my video. But this is the end, y'all. Go on. Get out of here. Goodbye.